Howdy folks, Yenta here. How's everyone doing? I am going to bring you some Week 4 Tier 2 action between Reaver and Fightin Aiurish. Let's see how this goes. To start things off, going through what the lineups are. 4 matches for you today. Short run time, so this is going to be a short stream. Got a Zerg versus Turan, AC versus AeliaN. Got a Protoss versus Zerg, Durandal versus Quantum Leap, Zerg versus Zerg, Hexe versus Elevation, and then a TVP Inside Job versus RiverHusky. Just queue up the first replay here, and then we'll hop right in. And here we go. We got our first match is going to be a ZVT between AC, who's our like a light sand colored Zerg up here in the top right. And we got AeliaN, who's down here in the bottom right as purple Turan. So let's see what these players go for. Right now, everything just seems normal as can be. Zerg is scouting to the left, to the nearest natural, and Turan is just making SCVs. Lots and lots of SCVs. Maybe this is going to be a wild game. Maybe all those SCVs are just going to come up here and rush the Zerg. Maybe the Zerg is going to go wild and just drone rush the Turan player. I haven't seen one of those crazy games in CPL yet. Supply depot, regular standard time, have an overlord in progress. So these openings look like they're just going to be regular or old openings. We are starting out on Polyploid. Polyploid is a 4-player map. Probably the most standard practice map in CPL right now, although Vermeer is looking to be quite popular, at least in the games I've been playing. Got a good old rack starting here. Let's see if the Zerg's going to be expanding. It does look like he's going to be expanding. 12 hatch. Right about 300. Hiding his drone, fearing that there's going to be a probe that shows up, and we're not going to get a probe this game. Let's see if he makes the pool on 200. Should be coming down fairly soon. Got an SCV over here scouting out, going to first scout our Zerg player. That's not always something you want to see. You really want to first scout the Turan. That always makes you a little bit happier. Now he's in a awkward position on how to get an overlord or a link scout in front of the T-base. At least if they're a cross map, this overlord could go straight down here onto the ledge and be fairly safe. But when you're in these positions, the overlord has to make some funky maneuvers to get all the way down there. And even this one's going to take him ages. Everything's looking good and normal over here. Are we going to go for a fast expand? We are going to go for a fast expand. Everything is looking very, very normal. AC popping in with 68 PM. AeliaN going crazy over here. I wonder if that's true APM or if he's just holding down some keys. That's just Turan versus Zerg for you. Purple SCV going around here trying to spy things out, check things out, going for a 2 racks. 68 PM, all you need. Yeah, I mean, if you're Protoss, that's all you need. If you're Zerg, I think you gotta go a little bit higher. 308 PM for tier 2 for Turan, I think is about right. Bunker being very safe, making sure we don't get any link run bys. Everything's going to plan here. I think that was speed before layer. So I wonder if we're going to see some Ling action. Nope. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe it was layer before speed. I'm the Bob Ross of StarCraft, yep. That's what I'm aiming for. I actually do have a pretty big afro right now. I need to go get my hair cut. AC coming in with a single Ling, just checking out the defenses. He sees a bunker. He doesn't know how many Marines are in. You don't have that luxury when you are Zerg. Let's see what tech he's going for. Layer is finished. Going for a third hatchery. My oh my. That is not Muta or Hydra. There we go. There's a Spire. So we're going for kind of like a 2.5 hatch here. What is worrying me, though, what is really worrying me is these are very close positions. And if you have Ling Scouts over here, by the time these Marines come out here and kill those, you're going to have a very short amount of time to make Sunkens. So, this is... Yeah, this is, I'm a little bit worried about this, especially these Marines are coming out now. Small group. Not very many. Are these Sunkens going to be up in time? I don't know. Stim's about to finish. Is he going to stim rush across the map? He's scanning. I think he's going to go for it. Yeah, he's stimming. This sunk. Is he going to bust? Oh. This is the worst way to die in, this is the worst way to die in CBT. Just getting stim rushed. Yeah, and one sunk is not enough to blow through these two medics. This is going to be a lot of damage. Making some Lings, Spire's done, but it's still not that many Marines though. I think in this situation, AC could have pulled his drones up into the main and then just made a bunch of Muta. Because he had a lot of money for Muta, right? He had 600, 700. I think he was just... Maybe just got caught off guard. Yeah, that happens. that happens to me a lot in D0 too. That happens all the way up in Pro League. You get a good timing on the Reens, and you get there before the Sunkens are done, or you don't have enough Lings, then it's bye-bye Zerg. But yeah, AC not playing very calmly here. Could have taken a breath, pulled his drones. I think the Muta would have come out in time. He had a lot of larva. He had supply as well. Maybe he was supply blocked, but I feel like he had supply, and he definitely had minerals and gas. All right, let's head into the next game. TVP impossible, ZVT impossible. Yeah, it's kind of hard. I won't lie. Oh, we already watched that one. Come on, replay interface. Let's work together. All right, let's load up into Butter. Tier Smurfs detective. I don't think there's Tier Smurfs. Heading into game 2. Now we got them swapping positions. Now we got AeliaN up here in the top right in purple Turan and AC down here in the bottom right. Again with this, I guess it's his favorite color. Tan colored Zerg. Scouting up top. He's going straight up top. Let's see what happens with this Overlord. Usually you want to send the Overlord like over here or maybe over here. There's this big black puddle of goo right between where the natural joins into the main. And if the Turan player is going for bio, that's a good place to have your Overlord hang out. But if you want to be a little bit safer, Actually, that is the safer option. If you want to be a little bit more risque, then you go to the cliffs over the natural with like a diagonal overlord position. But if the Turan player goes for an 8 racks, or if he just goes, like has really good mining and he gets his racks up, his first racks up pretty fast, then he can kill your overlord, snipe your overlord. So you gotta be watching out for that. Let's see what this turns into. I don't have a feeling these players are good at cheese, so I think it's just gonna be another standard game. Popcorn moment. Shimmer likes the Zerg suffering. Overlord going straight into the Turan main. I'm a little bit worried about this Overlord. I feel like he's going to get a little bit more than he's hoping for. SCV making a brave journey onto the map, trying to figure out where the Zerg is. It's not going to be very hard. This is only a 2-player map. But, you know, maybe AC wants to play some mind games and he killed off his hatch and just put another one randomly on in another starting or expansion position on the map. That'd be kind of cool to watch. Easier to do with Turan though. Like lift, go over here. Watch the other player like start sweating profusely. Everything's normal. Everything looks exactly the same as last game. AeliaN not making a Marine before CC this time, so he's greeting a little bit harder. Man. Let's go Zergy. SCV hanging out here. Got a couple links popping. There we go. Mr. Overlord is, let's see. Turan's trying his hardest, but he's not going to get it. Oh, very close. Command center almost done. Second rack's going up. Everything looking just like last game. We have some more links this time though. We are starting speed before we're starting layer. So, are we good to go? We're not. We're making drones. So it's just 4 links. Just a single Marine here. This could be a little bit of a problem. Are we going to see a bunker? I think AeliaN's greeting it a little bit here. That SCV did die. Now he's starting a bunker. These lings didn't go in at a good time. Single. Oh, he's going back. He could have killed these 2 Marines. Not a big fan of this bunker placement. Yeah, this is a wide choke. I think you could really abuse this with a Ling all-in. This also isn't tight, I don't think, on this side. You know, just 2 Marines in here, some Marines back here. This is a trick that Turan players do. They'll put like only 1 Marine in the bunker and then the rest of them outside, so it makes it look like it's a lot more Marines because you don't really know how many are in the bunker. So if a Zerg comes in here and he sees like 4 Marines and then he sees the bunker shooting, then he's like, oh, he must have 8 Marines. I don't want to go near anywhere. Whoa, AC is really overcompensating for last game. He does not want to die. He's got 4 creep colonies over here. What are we going for? We're going for a Spire. We're going from Utatech. We don't have our second cast going. So usually when you're going for this build, you want to start your second gas when the Spire starts. So it's like almost bonk bonk, Spire, gas. But we're just droning up here. The build is off a little bit too. The build is off a little bit because usually you drone up to 26 of 26 and then you make 2 overlords. Getting a 3rd hatchery here. Starting all of our sunken colonies, the remaining Zerglings fall. I don't expect the bus to work this time because that is a lot of sunkens and they're going to be finished. But yeah, that is a good strategy for new Zerg players. Pre-make your creep colonies. Nothing wrong with that. Then all you have to do is press sunken 4 times when he moves out. And you're not rushing. Sometimes your drones just don't listen to you and they don't go and make what they want to make, and then they like bump into each other and then you lose. Let's see what we have. We have a very early factory. I feel like that's a very early factory. What do I know? I don't play Tyran. Academy up, +1 started. These turrets are up for a regular muta timing, but AC's mutas are late. Going straight into Hydra then. We got an engineering blade blocking the hatchery over here at the 3rd. I don't particularly think this is a good place to take the 3rd on this map, just because you can get attacked from this side and that side. I think it's a lot easier to take like this one. Or even like this one's better, because at least if you've got Muta Ling, it's a lot easier to defend if the Marines are coming up a ramp than it is if they're coming down flat terrain. A decent group of M&M here. It's not quite 2 groups. These are very slow, super slow medics. Got some more Muta now. This is also painful. Flying right over the M&M ball. One Marine for 2 mutas, not a good trade. Wonder if it was lagging a fair bit. Joining up here to another group of M&M. So our Zerg player here is being very defensive with his Muta, which kind of defeats the purpose of having the Muta, right? You want the Muta to be as close to the terrain base as possible, like harassing over here, trying to pick off SCVs. And you want to be in between this group that's out on the map and any groups that are trying to join up with Lings and Muta, because it's much easier to kill a single group of M&M with many more Lings and many more Muta than it is to kill a large group of M&M with about equal Lings and Muta. It's like Hawk always says, you want to pick your battles, you want to take good battles. He's going to scalp this Expo and kill it pretty easily. AC not using his larva. Do we have lurkers available yet? No, not yet. Just a bad engagement there. Those 4 medics, all with full energy, they didn't get like stimmed out. It's another thing when you're kind of going back in and out with Muta, you're trying to use up the stims. And when you use up stims, you're using up medic energy. So if you have like an internal timer, you're kind of card counting how many stims there were, you can then know when it's a good time to engage on top of the Marines. But that's kind of hectic to do. There we go, it's a GG. AC kind of just gives up there. Don't think it was over, but he was definitely in a bad position. We got our first match going to AeliaN. I think of my feedback for AC on both of those games were, well, he already made the adjustment that he needed to in game 2, which is just pre-make the sunken colonies. That way, pre-make the creep colonies. That way the sunken colonies are easier to and faster to morph. So he played very safe there. You don't need You don't need 4 of them. 3 is enough. 2 is enough, really, if they're both up by the time the M&M group shows up there, and that wasn't a particularly big M&M ball. The second game, it takes a while to understand how to use Muta. And if you're using Muta defensively like that, kind of really conserving them, then maybe a better transition would have been something like Crazy Zerg. Just rush straight up to Ultra and try to make sure that you have better upgrades than your Terran opponents. Let's head into the next match, Durandal versus Quantum Leap, a PVZ. Let's see how that plays out. Jumping into game 1. Yeah, Crazy Zerg is when you skip Lurker and you skip Defiler and you just go straight from Muta into Ultra. You can also go Sunken into Ultra if you want. That's like absolutely bonkers Zerg, I think. that's the way Return likes to call it. And you can also go Lurker straight into Ultra. But you're pretty much trying to rush Ultra as fast as possible, and you're trying to rush upgrades, particularly Carapace upgrade, because if you can get Carapace upgrade ahead of Terran upgrades, then those cows are just gonna be big old meat shields, and they're just not gonna die for a while, and can really overpower the Terran player. So let's talk about this game though. Up here in the top left, we have Quantum Leap, who's a dark gray Zerg. I like this color, ashy kind of Zerg. And down here as white, we have Durandal, who is our Protoss player, bottom right. We're starting again on Polypoid. We have our Protoss player. That was quite an early scout, I think. And we also have Quantum Leap not scouting in the regular kind of meta way. So that is quite interesting. What you can do after you got a gate first, that is kind of late though, like on 11 gate, that's a late gate. But we see our Zerg player going for a 11 hatch here. So he's not particularly going to get challenged from that. We can do with your scouting probe after you make the pylon, after you make the forge, after you make the gate, is especially on Polypoid. So you can go up to one of these third locations and you can see if there's an overlord there. If there's an overlord there, that's a really way to short circuit your scouting. If there is no overlord, then you don't have to scout all the way down to here, for example. You can go cross positions, just less scouting. It wouldn't have worked versus Quantum Leap because Quantum Leap decided to scout irregularly. So you got a pull after hatch, then a gas coming down. Let's see what this turns into. Oh, it's a 2-gate from Durandal. Not particularly fond of this gate placement. I know he's like kind of trying to hide it and like fake out the Zerg player if he was going to drone scout him. But if Quantum Leap opens the way he did, where he's going to have a lot of speedlings quite fast, then you really want this double wall so you only have a single kind of hole between the gateways to defend. But as this stands, you got a big old wide hole. So I'm kind of worried for our Protoss player. Let's see what it comes out to. Our Zealot production wasn't really synced very well either. You should really be coming in with 3 Zealots right now. So something was off there, maybe like the pylon wasn't up. Going into a simulator off of this is also quite interesting. When you're going 2-gate on the lower ground, I would think you would transition into Nexus instead of into Tech. Maybe you can Tech if your gates are above your ramp. having our zealots have a little zealot party up here by the wide ramp. I don't think Quantum Leap realizes what's happening. He went for a third expo, sending these lings down, and I think he's going to get caught with his pants down. There could be a lot of drones dying. And that's particularly... yeah, it's not particularly fun. Because he really had a great build to counter this. 11 hatch is quite good, especially versus this kind of delayed 2-gate. Not a 9-9, but it was like 11-12, 11-13. I didn't catch when the second gate went down. Drone, drone, drone. Yeah, over droning. Too much into drone mode. Durandal going straight for the throat. And he's supply blocked, man. Really good timing to show the zealots. Kill the pool. And the speed's not going to finish either. Is it going to finish? Maybe. It's going to be close. It's going to finish. But not enough lings anyway. No sunkens. Yeah, it's maybe could have fought a little bit better if he was drone drilling on top of the zealots, but he decided to fight with single lings against more amount of zealots than lings, so that ended the way it did. So that's the importance of scouting for you. I guess the back gate really caught him off guard. He didn't go in far enough. Let's hop into the second game. Make sure your drone goes in, make sure the Protoss is not doing anything crazy. And make sure you have your Overlord down, scouting the Protoss player to make sure that they explode. There are builds where the Protoss player will go Forge Expo, but they won't make an Expo, and then they'll proxy you with 3 gates. And I've died to that in a last game of a best of 9, which was very, very painful. Hopping into the second game, have Quantum Leap up here in the top right, have Durandal up down here in the bottom right. Both players spamming at the start of the game just to warm their fingers up. Oh man, I've got bots in the chat. I guess I gotta get some admins to like go around and ban people. It's exciting. Welcome my first bot. Because you're our first bot, we're gonna let you stay. Unless you're gonna be naughty and spam more. Let's see what Durandal goes for this game. Is he gonna go for another tricky play like last game? This Overlord does look like it's going to be scouting to the cliff. We have an Overlord here. Are we going to go for an Overpool? This is a particularly good map to go Overpool on because it's 2-player map, so it's quite risky, especially if he goes Forge first. You can get a little cannon magic in your face, so we're getting gate first. I think I commented this on this last time that Durandal played. The gate is too far back. There's no space for putting cannons between the gate and the pylon. Probably the pylon needs to be lower. I think these patches are here to tell you where the pylon should be. And this gate needs to be up 1. You should test this out in single player, or just check out some replays of some other players and figure out what the positioning is. Yeah, I mean, if Quantum Leap goes for like a Hydra, it's going for another 2-gate. And Quantum Leap went for another early hatch. Let's see if he repeats his mistake. I mean, this has got to be infuriating, right? You're a Zerg player. You just got 2-gated. You didn't scout it. And then you come in here and you're going to scout another 2-gate. Like, what kind of Zerg player are you going to be? Are you going to be an emo Zerg player and just GG out as soon as you scout it? He's going to see it this time, though. Yeah, the gate's not... He sees it this time. I don't think he saw it last time. First Zealot's just kind of hanging out. Yeah, this one is a little bit harder to wall in on, right? I don't think the second gate fits here next to it. We got a creep colony going down. Got 2 creep colonies going down, so Durandal's not getting in here. And he's not going up. Mr. 2-gate, you gotta go. Go, 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 go. That first Zealot should be over here with a probe harassing these sunken colonies from finishing, even harassing the drones from putting the sunken colonies down. If you're doing a delayed Zealot rush like this, then it's better to hide your gates somewhere off on the side. Otherwise, the Zerg player is like, okay, GG. But yeah, Quantum Leap playing super safe here. 2 Sunkens, lots of Lings, way more than he needs. Now he can just drone up. Let's see what he does after this. He's getting Link speed first. That's fine. I mean, if he's in this defensive position, he could have just gone layer first, gone into like quick muta. Our Protoss player is going into Citadel of the Dune. Is he gonna go for like fast Zealot legs or something like that? That's what it feels like. If you're gonna go for that, let's make constant Zealots. Oh, Lings are faster than your slow Zealots. So now you're gonna feel the pain of the Zerg versus 2-gate mind map decision tree, right? The classic ZPP 2-gate decision tree is if the Zealots are on the middle of the map or up in your base and you're defended, send your Lings into the Protoss base. Now I got 4 Lings. Let's see how good the Ling control is. Got a Corsair up. Good drill. Good drill. Only really lost like 3 probes there, so not too bad. Zealots were just kind of chilling out here. Had faith in their probes. The Sair is out. Let's make some more Sairs. Quantum Leap's got his like, he's really not prepared for Sairs. There's the Hydra Den. Countering with Lings. The Zealots are out of position. Lings can just go into the main again. Making a Spire too. Yeah, just really poor unit positioning here from Durandal. Not liking that unit positioning. Make a wall over here. Make a little Zealot conga line and put it on hold position. Now it's going to be a little bit harder to drone, probe drill because there are a lot more Lings, and I think you're just going to lose all your probes right now. Zealots got speed, they kicked in, but what are we at? We're at 5 probes. Yikes. Very good use of Lings here. So even though this Sair only got 1 Overlord, I feel like it could have gotten more Overlords. These Hydras are going to take care of it, and now Quantum's in a devastating position. There's a 3rd hatch. 4th hatch. Looking to me like it's a good old Hawk build 2 base 4 hatch Hydra. Could use a little bit of Evo chamber somewhere to get that +1 rolling. That's about 7 minutes. That's a good time to start your +1. We have speed zealots and we have our second nexus. Now we're just trying to rebuild drones, or to rebuild probes here on the Protoss side. What's building down here? It's a forge. So in the bottom right corner, you can't see it because it's under the overlaid, but there is a forge there. Make probes. Quantum Leap is rich. He's rich out of his mind. He was stuck on overlords a little bit. So a little tip for you, once you start getting into the 30s, mid-30s, and you have a lot of hatches, then it's usually a good time to queue overlords as soon as your overlord pops. So you're supply blocked, or you're right before your supply cap, your next overlord pops. One of your next larvae should be an overlord. Don't wait until you're supply blocked again. And when you're starting to get into like double digits, well, not double digits, when you're starting to get into like 4s, 5s of hatcheries, then you should be making 2 overlords. Zerg's got very good massing potential if you can get up to early mid-game. Let's see if anything else is happening in the Zerg base. We got lurkers coming up. Now we got +1 starting. Got our third base coming up. Quantum is playing super defensive. After that, Durandal's over here making cannons in front of his gateway. You really want to be making the cannons behind the gateway to have a SimCity. SimCities are really good against Hydra. That forces the Hydra to kill your SimCity first, range it, and if your cannon positioning is good, sometimes it's just really hard to get Hydra in a good enough spot to actually range the gate and the forge down. But most importantly, it buys you time until Storm gets up. Durandal, does he have Storm going? He has Storm going, but it's late. Storm should be done, but it's hard to get Storm when you don't have probes. Still trying to get something done with the zealots that he has. Still building up, back up to probes. I'm surprised that the difference here is that small, but the army count is quite huge. So let's see what these zealots get done. One group of Hydra coming down here. Villa's creep colony, not reacting with all his Hydra. If you're opening Hydra like this versus Protoss, you really need to start hockeying your Hydra as soon as they come out, because you need to react really fast. Usually the speed lot timing is anywhere between it's hitting you anywhere between 6:30 and 7:30, depending on what flavor of speed lot rush it is. Sometimes even hits you way earlier, but it's got like no zealots and they don't have +1. And you're usually split across 2 bays because you're usually going 3 bays. So you really want to hockey your Hydra as soon as they come out. So as soon as you see the zealots and where they're going, you can reposition your Hydra very fast with hotkeys. It doesn't look like Quantum's doing this. It looks like he's just manually moving control groups around the map. Once you get into the later position, you're going to have way too many units to do that. Still, you want to hockey like a core group of units, probably like high gas units like lurkers, and maybe like 3-4 groups of Hydra, and then the rest of it you kind of stagger around the map in groups to quickly A-move. But Durandal's about caught up with probe count, and Quantum's missed his timing to just go and like A-move him. I think even if he just made masslings and A-moved him earlier, he could have won, or did another run by, because Durandal still mispositioned his zealots after the second run by that did so much damage. Now Durandal's kind of like half back in the game, This Templar's out in the middle of nowhere, so that's going to hurt. And we're probably going to establish a lurker contain. Yeah, Quantum's going for very safe play. Cannon's ranging these lurkers. Not ideal. But he could just, I think he could just flat out kill him right now. Like just bust the cannons because he doesn't have obs. Observatory is just going right now. Yeah, overly safe play here. As a Zerg player, you gotta kind of figure out this killer instinct of like, oh, I can just kill my opponent right now. Then you just keep on making units and aim their base. This was certainly a game, an example of a game where you want to just A-move your Protoss opponent after that opening that you had. Let's see if he's doing that now. He's moving down here. He's got a lot of units. He's oversaturated. Oh, he's oversaturated over here. Something is off about the saturation. There aren't enough drones in the third. Snipe both Templar, and now we can A-move. We can absolutely A-move this. Another Templar down here. Yeah, so any new Zerg players, if you're playing like a 5-patch Hydra opening, or playing like a Hydra Bust opening, what you want to be looking for when you can't just straight up bust them because they have a lot of cannons, what you want to be looking for is, are there Templar? And is there a Templar archives? You should be able to use your Overlord to be able to figure this out, and then make a decision on if I want to just bust them, like stop droning and bust them with Hydra, or if I want to go into more of an econ game where I'm like soft containing them or really hard containing them with Hydra Lurk. And for our Protoss player here, there are a couple of just micro mistakes, control mistakes really at the start of the game. If you're going 2-gate, you gotta really get going ASAP. You gotta bring a probe, preferably even 2 probes. The more probes you bring with your 2-gate, the harder it is for the Zerg player to stop it. The probes are there, they should get there earlier in the first Zealot. The probes are there to delay sunkens, especially if the Zerg player goes 11 hatch or 12 hatch. You want to keep those sunkens from starting. And hopefully, by the time their pool finishes, they haven't started the sunken and you've got a Zealot and like 2 probes against a couple of Lings starting up. And then another 2 Zealots coming in after that. GG, you got the series tied up. All right, let's head into the third game, the third and deciding game. Are we going to see another 2-gate? Honestly, I would go 2-gate again. Up here in the top middle, we have Durandal, our Protoss player. And up here in the lowish right, we have our Ashy Zerg Quantum Leap again. Are people like really choosing the colors, or is the randomizing in the Brood War app so bad that it always chooses the same colors when you start your game up? Feels like it's like it feels like it's like a static in the code. Just chooses a color and that's what it gives you. what we go for. I think this needs to be a little bit farther back. Again, like, there used to be a site called Broodwall that actually had all the walls figured out, and you can just go there and copy them. But unfortunately, the guy maintaining it stopped paying for it, so it's gone into the ether, which kind of sucks. But Durandal, if you're watching, you gotta figure out your walls and your pylon placements on these maps. First scouting the Zerg player. This is a 3-player map. Our Protoss, or our Zerg player, is going for 11 hatch again. So he's been very consistent with that build. I think that's a good approach. Either overpull or 11 hatch and just learn it really well. It's especially good in ZVP. I think ZVP and PVZ both can be very scripted. We're going for another 2-gate. Three 2-gates in a row. Alright, Durandal. They're getting my psychic messages from the future. Are you gonna send your zealots, rally them straight into the Zerg base, or gonna bring some probes and harass the sunken colonies from getting up? Everything's normal. Nothing to be seen here. Ah, zealots are waiting again. Like, if it was an overpool, then it'd probably be fine to keep the zealots back. But it wasn't an overpool. It was an 11 hatch. Rally straight to the Zerg base. You want to get there, you want to start getting some damage done. You want to prevent these things from getting up here. Right? Prevent this from getting up, kill the drone, and then when the lings come, you go and use the minerals to your advantage, or go into like some funky hole here where the surface area versus you, or even here. This is a very narrow gap. It's a good map to 2-gate on. You just put your zealots here and just pretend this is actually your main base, and the Zerglings are trying to bust you. And then you have your like 4th and 5th zealot come in, or 6th and 7th, and so on and so forth. And yeah, you can really 2-gate quite well on this map. We have Quantum Leap playing super safe again. So I don't like this, that he's playing super safe, especially he made this many lings, right? Take these lings and put them over here and threaten backstab. Durandal's probably going to go back into his base and be scared of the backstab, especially after last game. And you can save 75 plus 50 and a drone on this second creep/sunken colony, and you can start droning up. That's what makes 2-gate awkward. If you're defending against 2-gate and you overling and oversunk, and the Protoss player expands, and they keep making probes behind it, because 2-gate can be pretty economic, especially if you're going 10-12 2-gate, can be pretty economic, you're going to be in a bad spot. The Protoss player is just going to get ahead of you economically and just going to like steamroll you in the early mid game. So yeah, a little bit of a control mistake here. Got to lose 3 zealots for free, pretty much. And now we got another. Oh, that was close. It was a good save. But now we're running away again. Okay, that was decent defense. Let's see how many probes he gets. If he had kept those first 3 zealots, it would have been in a better spot. Gotta be a little bit quicker to react here and send these zealots back. And at the same time, this Zerg player is not really killing probes, which is the more important thing here, instead of trying to get this cyber core down. So if you're a Zerg player and you got Lings in the Protoss base, the first place you go to is the gas. That is the easiest place to pick stuff off. The second place you go to is these close minerals. And then the third place you go to, if they're drilling and their reaction time is really good, the third place you go to is the Nexus. And you go to the Nexus on the side where it's hard to drill. So it would be down here, right under the Nexus, and you just start attacking the Nexus. There is nothing that makes a Protoss player lose their nerve, especially an unexperienced Protoss player, like having their Nexus suddenly be at half health to a couple of Lings in their base. It's going to make them make a mistake, and you can capitalize on that. Maybe they don't pull all their probes when they try to drill you, so you go and pick off the like 2 or 3 probes that are left. Still mining. Anyways, let's see what the state of this game is at. We have some Zealots here. We have our Forge coming up. We don't have Speed starting. We don't have +1 starting. We have Archives starting. Archives started around 6:30, so this is a good timing for Archives. I think Durandal has stabilized. He needs to be making more probes. He should be at about 42, 44 probes right now. Oh, maybe the Nexus was a little bit later than regular expansion, but he should be at a lot more probes, over 30. We got Muta over here. Okay, so this may just end fast. Quantum Leap droned up, went straight into Lair, went into Muta. Let's see what these Muta do. Yeah, not prepared for this at all. Like I think 90% of the time I see Zergs going Muta. So a lot of the times what I see Protoss players doing after they do a 2-gate that was defended is they go straight into like 2 Stargate Ser, because they are almost assuming that the Protoss player or the Zerg player is going to go into Muta. And then your Muta come into their base, and it's like, uh-oh, 2 Stargate Ser. Ser Zealot, very strong versus this combo. But good old Hawk says, don't go into Muta, go into Lurker, Lurker Link. Not liking that attack, just throwing all our Zealots away. It's probably the biggest mistake I see from any Protoss player. It doesn't matter if they're doing 2-gate, if they're doing Forge Expo, if they're doing Gate Expo, they just throw their Zealots away like they're nothing. And they're not expendable, they're not Lings, they're expensive. And if you throw your Zealots away, then you have no map control, because that's what the Zealots are for. If you throw the Zealots away versus a Muta opening, I mean, yes, it draws the attention of the Muta over to their base, but you want to kind of like run them around. You don't want to like kill them, let them all die. Maybe let like 2 or 3 die. You get to this very weird situation where you're stuck in your base, because that's what the Muta are going to do. They're going to make you sit in your base, and to get out of your base, you need to do a strong push, like an 8-gate push. But you threw away a control group of Zealots, and your push is now 8 Zealots, or 12 Zealots, weaker than it could have been. And a lot of times, those Zealots make the difference between busting the Zerg off of 8-gate and not busting the Zerg, as the Zerg drones up and Hydras up off of this. So we got an Archon here, flying around, right, with Muta. What I would like to see, this is a weird place for, I don't like this 3rd spot here. You got 2 closer 3rd spots here, and another one here. Do we have any Lurkers up? Not yet, but yeah. If we don't have Lurkers up, then let's take a spot here. Or even go up, there's an expo here up a ramp. Let's go and take this expo up the ramp. It's very easy to defend because it's got a ramp. This here is not particularly easy to defend. because this is not high ground, if you didn't know that. And it's very easy for Protoss to come in here before you react and use this as a bottleneck. And this is the perfect place to storm. So imagine the Protoss player up in here in your expo, because you didn't put enough defenses here or you didn't have any defenses here, and you're coming in here trying to stop it. I mean, it's better not to even try. Put a couple blankets of storm down here and it's goodbye Zerg. Meters out here. I would like to see Quantum go into more drones. So he's just going into Hydra. Again, he could probably just mass Hydra and kill Durandal here. And these Muta are never going to let a Templar get out on the map. Because, okay, we do see some Corsairs, so maybe Durandal will take back air superiority. He's being offensive with his Hydra this time. That's a good choice. There we go. Quantum Leap takes that 2-1. Let's see where our score's at. We have Fightin Aiurish taking a quick 2-0 lead in Tier 2 Week 4. Let's see how the rest of these games play out. Gonna head into a ZVZ. Let's cue that up. It's gonna be Hexe versus Elevation. I know Elevation was going psych himself up for this match. Every place he could, he was asking, how does Hexe play? How does Hexe play? What are some tips? So let's see how that plays out. ZVZ. Over here on the right-hand side, we have Hexe and light white. Let's see if we can get better colors. We can get better colors. That's great. So we have Hexe in red and Elevation in blue on the left-hand side. Both players are opting to scout for normal positions. Both players are not particularly choosing the best starting mineral patches to mine from. I feel like that's especially important, well, in a lot of matchups. It just makes a big difference in your pool timing. And I'm not talking about like manual mineral mining optimizations here where you're hitting a return cargo and you have to learn every single patch that you can hit return cargo on to mine minerals faster. I'm just talking about going to these patches first, and then going to these patches next, and then going to this patch last. And then if you want to be super precise about it, you can position your drones to be at the correct angle coming off these two center patches so that they mine to the corner of the hatchery over here. I got Hexe going here for a 9 pool. I think that was a 9 pool. Yep. And we have, oh, sorry, that was Elevation. Elevation going for a 9 pool. Hexe not going for a 9 pool. Is it going to go for a 12 hatch? Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a quick win for Elevation. I am the patch Nazi. It's a difference between, like in overpool, it's a difference between always getting 115 or better for your pool timing or going over 120. And if you're going versus like a 9 gate expo or a 9-9 2 gate with overpool in ZVP, that 5-6 seconds on your pool timing is the difference sometimes between having lings fast enough to stop everything. And it makes your 9 pool much, much faster. Let's see how this plays out. Let's see how Elevation plays this 9 pull out. Is he going to go straight for speed? The speed, he's going layer, so he's going 9 layer. Let's see what he does after this. He's making 8 lings. Let's see if he holds larva, making more lings. He knows where Hexe is. Let's see how Hexe reacts to this. Very poor pool positioning from Hexe. Good choice from elevation. Go for drones. Watch out here. Gonna get a good drill. Yeah, great drill. Very good drill from Hexe. Not as good a drill there. It was actually very close to holding that. Very close to holding that. So before we jump out of this replay, let's just talk about pool positioning here. You want to use your pool in a way, you want to place your pool in a way so that you can start making a SimCity in ZVZ. So this pool on this starting position should be over here by the gas. Then your sunken colony, if you need to make a sunken colony, can go down here or it can go down here next to the pool. So when your drones drill from your minerals to your gas, they can drill in front of the sunken and help the sunken defend against lings. If it's over here, then you can't really drill into here. Sunken placements down in your natural. If you're defending something like 12 pool against 12 hatch, what you want to do is you want to put the sunken up between the natural hatchery and your ramp here. The reason for that is you want to be able to maybe drill with drones, but you also want to draw the opponent's lings into a concave and kind of a bottleneck. So you're going to create a fake bottleneck with putting the sunken up here, kind of narrowing between your ramp and your hatch and your sunken, and then you're going to put the rest of your lings, most of them on top of this ramp in a concave behind the sunken. So the opponent's lings are going to come in, they're going to come into a concave of your lings, and they're also going to start hitting your hatch, and they're going to start hitting your sunken colony, which is going to be like tanks. They're going to be tanking hits. And then your lings, even though you have less lings, should be able to allow you to come out evenly. And that's a way to come back from 12 full against 12 hatch. All right, let's jump out of this. Let's go upgrade our score. Yeah, Hexe was very close to holding that with just drones. I think if you had gotten better drills and had drilled into a mineral earlier and just gone like back and forth between gas and minerals, I think, or even just ran the drones away and bought time for his lings to come up, because they were slow lings, I think he could have defended that. And then it would have been a very different game. But that's hard. And it's even harder if they go 9 pool speed. That's a very, very hard to pull that off. At the same time, Elevation's choice to go into the drone line is the riskier choice. The easier choice is to kill your hatch, or at least force a cancel. If you go for the drones, you can very easily just die to a good drone drill. Let's boot into the second game. Second game on butter. Don't need to swap colors this time. Hex it down here in the bottom right. Elevation up here in the top right. Let me fix that. Okay, I'll fix that. The next time the scoreboard comes up, it'll be correct. Sorry about that. Slow fingers today. Flip the names. No, I don't need to flip any names. We got Dada over here creating all this software that makes casting super easy. So I just have this super automated HTML website that lets me click on stuff and the score updates automatically. It's great. So thank you, Dada. And also thank you for whoever built the replay site for the casters. It's very easy to just download an entire tier of replays instead of dealing with people deciding not to show their replays. That was a pleasant surprise. So now we got Hexe going for a 9-pull and Elevation going for a more economic opening. Let's see how this plays out. He's not going to go for a 12 hatch. That would be kind of crazy on this map, although this is a long rush distance, but I don't know if it's that long. Going for a 9-pull. Let's see if it's speed or if it's layer. We're going for a regular old 12 gas, well, 12 hatch, 11 gas build here. Take our natural expansion. Are we going to go for speed? If we're talking about 9-pull versus 12-pull, this is one of those matchups that, depending on how each player plays it out, you can make this even in your favor, both sides. So we are going for layer, so 9-pull layer. So this is definitely the opening that is going to make you closest to be able to deal with 12-pull. Let's see how Elevation deals with the early pressure. Elevation starting link speed. Hexe is not starting link speed. Both kind of just moving across the map. Elevation got to get caught out. Good catch by Hexe there, although they're both just lost one ling. Elevation not bringing any drones with him. Maybe he knows the secret to check when speed is done based off timing. Hexe microing there. Now he's got drones. Okay. He brought drones when it was kind of like not respecting the 9-pull there. Gotta respect the 9-pull. Elevation. Those 3 drones would have given him an easier hold. Instead, he lost 3 drones and he lost all his lings. So now he's not going to be able to go into Hexe's base and do a counter link push, or at least he's not going to be able to do as strong of a counter link push to force Hexe to make sunkens right before his muta are out, which is going to make Hexe be able to have more sunkens, more econ. I mean, more muta, more econ. And the layer is late. Let's see how Elevation recovers from this, because I think he definitely got the worst of this opening. Hexe going in here with a run by, very good run by. Get some more drones. Like, is he making a? Yeah, he doesn't have many drones himself. Did I miss a run by or something? He's keeping Elevation in his base with the run bys. That's keeping pressure off of him and his base. That was a little bit of a misclick. Now Elevation should just go and try to A-move Hexe. Oh, he doesn't have his Overlord here. He has no idea what's going on. So Hexe is going a little bit bare on the drones here. He went a little bit too link heavy. So you don't really want, if you're going 9 layer, you don't really want to go this heavy into lings. You want to get a couple of drones that are that the 12 pull player is using here as defense, and then you want to back off because you're going for his fast spire. So you want the minerals to be able to get sunken colonies up, because this is what you're scared of. You're scared of the 12 pull player getting his second hatch up faster and just moving you with lings. So he doesn't have the econ really for this. Let's see if he's able to hold this. Oh, you can't see it because it's in the corner. Not droning. Not drone drilling down here. You got mutas at the other location, kind of sniping all the drones. So it looks like it's a crazy elimination game. Let's see what he's making. Making lings. But on the other side, Elevation doesn't have anything, any anti-air yet. He's got money though. He doesn't have enough money for Rescourge. Yeah, that's about all we have to say, folks. Elevation making some wings is in a last-ditch effort to go and try to kill Hexe. Really, all he has to do is kind of go defend, right? So while we wait for the inevitable here, kind of go back and give Hexe some advice. You want to lay off a little bit when you're doing lings here. So you want to go up to maybe 8, max 10 lings. You don't really want to hard engage the other player. You kind of want to pick off those drones, and then you want to back off. In your base, this is a risk 12 pool. And then in your base, you're kind of preparing with a SimCity, trying to get your Muta out as fast as possible and droning. You want to get a decent econ. You want to recover from your early econ opening. Droning lets you make sunkens. If you're on a map with a ramp, you put your lings above the ramp, and that will delay in a concave. That will delay his ling counter enough for you to get 2 sunkens up, and 2 sunkens with a drone drill and good SimCity should be enough. GG. Should be enough for you to be able to defend the 12 pool ling counter, and then your Muto should be out shortly after. So we're tied up in this match, Hexe versus Elevation. And then right after that, you're going to have a Muta advantage, and the 12 pool player is going to want to defend against your earlier Muta, because they're going to have later Muta. They need to have spores up, otherwise they just straight up die. In the meantime, while they're putting up spores and playing defensive, you take your Expo, and if everything plays out where each player doesn't die to the other one's antics, you end up with an even game. Kind of even game. Third and final deciding match. Hexe on here on the right side, going with the offensive good luck, have fun. Elevation responding back with a single good luck, have fun. On here on the left side. Who's going to get first scout? No one's going to get first scout. Oh, love it when you get first scout. That overlord over the other Zerg player's base, just telling you exactly what they're building. Such a nice cheat hack to have. Elevation gets some points from me from picking better patches this time around. I didn't watch Hexe, but it looks better. Ah, okay, the first good luck half one was an ally chat. So to make up for that, he sent another one and he capitalized a G to say he was sorry. Manner guy. I think you mannered your gas here. We'll see. I think it's too far to the right. Elevation with a good positioning here. And they're both going for... mirror builds, it looks like. Hexe with the faster Overlord, Elevation with the faster gas. I feel like I'm blowing into my mic a lot. Am I blowing into my mic a lot? Elevation started mining gas earlier. Yeah. Try to fix that slightly. What's going to happen, folks? Layer. Elevation going for layer before speed. Hexe is going to go for... Look at it, what a difference that makes, right? Layer. Elevation's layer is going to be a little bit faster. Elevation is a little bit up in supply. I mean, yeah, it looks like it's a big difference, but it probably doesn't matter. Talking about a couple seconds here. Much better Ling micro here from Hexe. Running away. Everyone's running away. Elevation regrouping. Hexe is getting Ling speed. Elevation looks like he's going to be hiding some Lings on the map to go for some drone kills. So we could be in an interesting spot in a couple of seconds. Overlord out here, scouting for Lings coming in. Got a good, I think this is pretty good. So another tip that I just learned from a Soma video is if you're attacking into this kind of concave, you want to spam patrol. You don't want to spam attack. Spamming patrol lets your Lings attack faster and better versus this kind of concave. I think he figured out what's going on and he backed away. Either he figured out what was going on and backed away, or decided that better not lose Lings versus this. Elevation's preparing with a sunken colony. Hexe has got one less drone. Spires are about even. Good defense, not losing anything. Hexe is just mining with one. Elevation's got a big gas advantage. He didn't make Ling speed, so he's got about 100 gas advantage. But he didn't put a drone back on gas after he started Spire. Let's see what Elevation did, or Hexe did. Hexe did put a drone back on gas after he started Spire, so this may actually catch up. Elevation's got more drones. Let's see how this turns out. Both are supply blocked right now. That's probably what prompted the attack from Hexe. He got supply blocked and needs to unblock for Muta. So let's just go attack in, see what we can get done, and unblock ourselves. Doing the counter concave. These are always fun to watch. But Elevation's Muta are out. Hexe's Muta are out. Hexe's Muta are out faster, even though Elevation had the faster Spire. Let's see what the Muta looks like, the Muta micro looks like from these two. So when you're playing this kind of Muta first strategy, you want to be reinforcing Muta very fast. So you want to right click your hatchery on one of your Muta. So that way, any new Muta that come out are going to go directly to your existing Muta. And you want to update that quite frequently, because when that Muta dies, the one that you happen to right click on, run your Lings away. You want to be able to... Very nice micro there from Hexe, although he had the Muta advantage. What's this? Scourge. Unfortunate positioning, but he has more. More coming in. The micro anti-Scourge is patrol like right on top of your Muta when you're about a good distance away. Not making any Scourge, making Lings. Unfortunate for Elevation. He does have the gas, so... Oh, was there a counter here? I missed the counter. Muta killing Elevation. Hexe Probably got countered with Lings. I see he's missing some... No, he's still on 8. Maybe it didn't do that much damage. You got some Rambo Lings here trying to win the game. And then try to shoot up. Elevation going for a last ditch play. Trying to get Evolution Chamber up with a Spore Colony. And we're going to call it here shortly. Hexe is going to win this 2-1. GG. Yeah, the supply block is rough. And the other thing that's rough is you have to be super patient with how you're using your larva, because if you get to the point where your spire pops and you don't have 3 larvae and you don't have Overlord's supply, that is, to actually make units out of your spire, then you can get in the situation that we got in here, where Hexe just had more larvae to make air units. They both got supply block, but Hexe just used his larva better. And it snowballed pretty fast. You're on... He made a good call, made 1 pair of Scourge, and even though he was down gas, he had the Scourge split and connect on different mutas, and then he picked off those weak mutas with his greater number of mutas and just snowballed. Very small margins. Let's pop into our last match of the day, which is going to be Inside Job versus RiverHusky. Protoss versus Tyran. Ooh, both yellow. Okay, slightly better. Got burnt grass green for inside job down here in the bottom right, and poop colored green up here in the top right for our Protoss player. Oh, maybe it's slightly more burnt grass color, but it's better than yellow versus yellow. RiverHusky going for regular build. Yeah, I mean, it's not really dark. It's like brownish, light brown. Got RiverHusky. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I'm not super keen on this gateway positioning. But put it maybe a little bit more down here. That way, if you're going to gate and you're defending against something like vultures, like a late vulture drop, then you'd put like something like core, forge up here, and more gates up here, so that the vultures can't really get in here unless they drop straight on your mineral line. But yeah, it doesn't really matter that much. And we got a good positioning here from inside job, where if Zealots are coming in here, he's gonna be able to, yup, and he's got the bunker here. Yeah, this is a great positioning. Anti-Zealot positioning. The Marine can come into this hole, kind of run between the supply depots, and this can kind of evade the Zealot and fire from him from afar. Factory started. Hiding the probe up here. Inside job still looking for a Protoss player. Going for a 2-gate build here. Very safe build. Inside job does not look like he's going to for a 2-fact. Saw the probe, so we're not going to see any probe shenanigans. Like a hidden gate in the main. One SCV on gas. So that heavily signals we're going to see a CC soon. Turan player scouted the Protoss base. He sees the core spinning. He sees 2 gates. He didn't see the 3rd pylon. You always kind of want to stick around to see the 3rd pylon. If you stick around to around this time and you don't see the 3rd pylon, then it's potentially they're hiding tech on the map, right? Goon's coming out here to do some pressure, but inside job looks like he's going to be handling that quite well. Tank going to be coming out soon. A little bit late on the first tank, ordering the first tank. RiverHusky's out here. Yeah, let's work a little bit on that, because you could have killed that SCV with those goons coming out. Let's just not straight up rally. Let's try to get an A move in there. Got siege coming, tank coming. So if you're facing this kind of pressure, this is gonna be a little bit rough for inside job. Oh, this is gonna be close. Oh, this is gonna be. You need 1 SCV per Dragoon if you want to hold this, or well, if you want them to repair fast enough. Is he gonna hold this? I don't think he's gonna hold this. Not enough SCVs. And that first tank was just so late. Maybe. Maybe. Good micro from RiverHusky getting up the ramp. He did lose a lot of Dragoons going for that, but he's going to be rallying more in. I would like them to see to start the Nexus now. Very good surround from inside job. Maybe he can stabilize after this. Tank comes out. Siege up. Siege up. Yeah, not far enough from the ledge. But we do have positioning, good positioning here. Wow. That was an anti-GG timing. That was, yeah, I'm very surprised that RiverHusky exited out of that game. He was doing pretty well. He did a lot of pressure onto inside job. He had his Nexus started. The Turan player had lost a lot of SCVs. He didn't have his CC up. He didn't have any tanks really. Yeah, that's very early GG, premature GG. I mean, if that micro was that micro was challenging for you, then back off. Just don't commit more to it. You did so much damage. Just back off onto the top of the wide ramp and just go back in macro. Take it slow. Take a breather. You did what you needed to do. Definitely don't GG. Some of these matches in CPL have been coming down to like the last set. So I really don't want to be doing early GGs. Head into the second game. RiverHusky up top. Same colors again. And inside job down bottom. Oh, sorry, I did not want to go fastest times two. Let's go back to fastest. Let's see what strategy RiverHusky goes for this time. Had a very good 2-gate opening last game. Caught inside job off guard, especially inside job making a mistake, having a slow first tank. Also think that it was kind of, I think in that situation, if I had scouted 2-gate goon, I would not have made my CC on low ground. He wasn't economically behind. I think that game was even. Inside job lost about 6 SCVs, and his CC wasn't finished building yet. There wasn't that much of a difference to warrant an early good game. Going for a 2-gate again, so very safe opening, but also an opening that lets you put on a lot of pressure. Going for 3-gate, okay. Going like 3-gate Zealot here. So if we're going for these kind of Zealot, Zealot, well, 4-gate Zealot. If you're going for this kind of Zealot opening, then you really want to do forward gates or proxy gates. Zealots are pretty slow. This map, even though it's a 2-player map, it has a very long rush distance. We've been toying around a little bit in ZVZ, and it's like with an 11 hatch in base, we've almost been able to hold the 9 pool pretty consistently. So this is a pretty long rush distance. Definitely, if you're going for this kind of Zealot first play, make a forward gate and proxy more gates over here. You can do the same thing with goons, by the way. You can just do 1 gate in your base and then proxy like 2 gates off here in the third, and then come in with really fast rallies. And that's a lot of the times the difference from just killing your opponent straight up to losing very close breaks. As for inside job, yeah, I last game I don't think I would have. Let's see where we go with the Zealots here. Zealot just running by the bunker. Good call. So last game I don't think I would have put my CC below the ramp. I think I would have built my CC above the ramp, and I would have not gone down the ramp at all. I just tried to hold the 2-gate until my siege is out. That would have been a lot easier hold than what ended up happening with RiverHusky doing a really good amount of damage. Got a reverse vulture out here. RiverHusky getting hard countered, unfortunately. Inside job scouting, reacting with vulture counter to Zealots. So this is kind of like what you see in like a Hunter's 3v3, when the Tyrann just kind of makes a wall and goes straight into 3-factory vulture to be able to deal with Protoss going into heavy Zealots in 3v3. Alright, this RiverHusky GG's out. Very quick series to finish that up. let's see what we ended up with. Ended up going 2-2, getting a tie on tier 3 or tier 2 between Crimea River and Fightin Aiurish. Yeah, and this game was a little bit rough. Zealots versus Turan really work the best if you're doing forward gates or proxy gates. If you're doing 4-gate Zealot versus Turan, then you're gonna, especially like next to your Nexus, it's gonna be very easy for the Turan to hold. Doesn't matter if it's a ramp, doesn't matter if it's rampless, they're just gonna make a SimCity, put up a bunker, and you're not gonna do much damage, and then they're gonna get vultures out and you're gonna have a bad time. That being said, that is all for today. I'm going to end the stream here just to make it easier on Dada to be able to export this. And I'm going to hop into some replay review for my team. Probably going to review Dada's reps. Then I'm going to take a look at Marting's reps just to cover the Zerk players that I wanted to cover. And until next time, thanks guys.